under siege. It's under siege from some cartels with tentacles extending to Kenya Medical Practitioners and Dentist Council. Today, there is no decision that can be made within NHIF without reference to KMPDC, which is a regulator for the doctors, and not a regulator in the health sector or anything that is health related. These cartels work in this way. And you know, sometimes when we come here and we say they are going against UHC, people might think that probably these are just the political wars. When NHIF, against the directives of a cabinet secretary, they have the audacity to insubordinate and undermine the cabinet secretary who has given directives that we are going to share with you, telling them that they must allow what we call pre-authorization, so that specialist clinic officers must be able to deliver their services to Kenyans, so that they can be able to declare hospitals for the purposes of use of NHIF, facilities owned by clinic officers. They declined even after the directive of a cabinet secretary. After that, there was a meeting that was convened under the mediation of the CEO of Kenya Health, the KHPOA, that is supposed to coordinate and supervise all the regulatory bodies. We made resolutions that the directives of the cabinet secretary were to be implemented in full. It has taken almost 1 year. That has not happened. It's a cartel that does not listen to anybody, and that is only self-serving, and they only look at the monetary interest that they are pursuing. And this is how it works. The NHIF Act in the board has a representation of KMA. And then, when it comes to the declaration of the hospitals, there is the chair for KMPDC who advises the board together with the cabinet secretary. And this is what they are using to turn the law into their advantage, so that they can make monetary gains at the expense of Kenyans. So in their own wisdom, they have decided that only a facility that is registered under KMPDC, notwithstanding the fact that there is an Act of Parliament number 20 of 2017 for clinic officers that provides that the facilities for clinic officers shall be registered by Clinic Officers Council. Then they tell you that you have to have a license from KMPDC for your facility to be declared as a hospital by NHIF, and for you to be able to pre-authorize. And when I talk about pre-authorization, I'm saying this. You have an ophthalmology and cataract surgeon who is a clinic officer somewhere who wants to perform a cataract surgery, but they cannot pre-authorize. They have to get a medical officer who is not specialized, who does not know what they are doing, so that they can sign for them to get pre-authorization. Isn't that corruption? And that medical officer has to be paid. If I want to register my facility, I have to go to KMPDC in addition to the license I have from the Clinic Officers Council. And we have laws in this Kenya that provide that people should not be discriminated, that we should be able to enjoy the law equally as Kenyans. So today we want to address ourselves to the Cabinet Secretary for Health, CS Kagwe, because we know that he has the goodwill. We want to address ourselves to the National Assembly Health Committee. We want to address ourselves to the President, His Excellency Humour Kenyatta, to tell him that we must liberate NHIF. NHIF is under siege from KMPDC, and until we liberate it, we will not be able to attain the universal health coverage that His Excellency the President has set as one of his big four agenda. And as clinic officers, we are going to bite the bullet. If within 7 days they are not going to honor the directives of the Cabinet Secretary, tutaandamana until the CEO is out of that office And until Kenyans can be able to access, when we talk about universal health coverage, we are talking about three things. We are talking about affordability, we are talking about access, and we are talking about quality. If Kenyans cannot be able to access the services of that specialist who is nearest to them, because clinic officers, even if you went to Kalacha, you went to Lokichogio, you are going to find a specialist clinic officer, and you are not going to find a consultant there. If then they are denied access by NHIF, aren't we then derailing the achievement of universal health coverage? And we are saying, if then they cannot hear the CS for health, then the president needs to crack the whip, because the CEO is an appointee of the president, and he needs to go home if he cannot do what he's supposed to do in that office. Thank you. I think we can take questions.